We've got a fantastic new recipe to share with you. It's a shrimp cocktail with a Thai chili sauce. Before I jump into the kitchen though, we've got something really exciting that we wanted to share with you. We've been working hard over the last few weeks to create a new online video course for home cooks. It's called the Home Chef Academy. We've recorded a whole bunch of videos, walkthroughs of how to make some of our favorite recipes, some of the best recipes for home cooks. We've created an online electronic cookbook that goes with it, so you get detailed instructions on how to create all these recipes. But without showing too much about what we've created, there's a whole page below this which has got more details. If you're interested, if you want to make better food at home, this is going to be a great new course for you. We're launching it live in just a couple of weeks. We've got a video or two left to shoot. Once we do, we're going to sell it for about $100. Because you're part of our community, we want to give you a great deal. It's $19 if you buy this week. So if you're interested, there's more details below. Aside from that, we're going to jump into the kitchen right now and show you how to make a shrimp cocktail. So shrimp cocktail with Thai chili cocktail sauce. I've got shrimps here. These have got the heads on them, which depending on which country you're in, you may or may not be able to find shrimp like this. It's certainly not essential, but if you do have these shrimps with the heads on them, they're really easy to prepare, and in fact you can save the shrimps and any of the shells that you get from this and make a really nice stock afterwards. Basically, what I'm doing is just ripping the head off, twisting the head off, removing the legs, and then setting aside. We'll zoom in a little bit closer here so that you can see this with a little bit more detail, but basically just hold the heads and the tails with your two hands and then twist in opposite directions, and the head should just pop off. It might be a little bit gunky, but that's okay. That's just part of cooking, I guess. The legs can come off here. Be careful, they're a little bit sharp, or you can leave them on and take them off afterwards. Once you've got all your shrimps prepared, deheaded, if you will, and de-legged, we're going to set those aside in a bowl and start preparing some of the vegetables and fruits, I guess, for our poaching liquid. Lemon and shrimp go together really well, and especially since we're going to be poaching these shrimp, lemon adds a really nice acidity and a really nice flavor to our poaching liquid. So 2 lemons. We're going to cut those basically just in half and set those aside, and then we've got an onion, which again is going to add a little bit of sweetness and a little bit more flavor to our poaching liquid. So we'll show you in a bit exactly how to poach these shrimps, but it's actually really quite easy, and you want a really flavorful liquid to impart the flavor to the shrimp. The onions, I'm taking off the skin here. I don't think it's really actually completely necessary. If you want to leave the skin on there, that's fine. The reason for taking it off is sometimes because these are going to sit for about 10 minutes or so. The skins can break down a little bit more and attach themselves to the shrimp, and then when you're eating the shrimp, you get a taste of onion paper, which no one really wants. So I like taking the onion paper off. But that's really as easy as it is in terms of vegetables. We're going to get a little bit ahead of the game here and set aside a bunch of ice cubes, about 8 cups or so of ice. The more the merrier. Basically, we are going to poach the shrimps for about 3.5 minutes, and then we're going to cool that liquid down and let the shrimps rest in there for about 10 minutes. But you want to be really careful when doing that, because if the liquid's too hot, it's really priming for germs and bacteria to grow, and you don't want to make anyone sick. So ice bath, set aside. Right beside the pot, you want to put those so that you can cool the water down immediately. Onions went in. A good trick, we're going to juice the lemons to get more of the flavor into the water. A good trick with lemons like this, if you don't have one of those presses, is just put a fork in the center and then twist again in opposite directions, one hand twisting and the fork twisting the opposite way, and you'll get all the juice out of there. Bay leaf goes in, peppercorns go in, a little bit of salt, about 1/4 cup, and 1/4 cup of sugar, equal parts salt and sugar, creating a bit of a brine here if you're familiar with that term. That's really as easy as our poaching liquid's going to be. Because we put salt and sugar in there, we want to bring this up to a boil, which you can see here, and then the poaching liquid is ready to go. The salt and the sugar should be completely dissolved. Take it off the heat, add your shrimp to the pot, give it a quick stir, and set a timer for 3.5 minutes. The shrimp can overcook very quickly, so make sure you set your timer right away. And as soon as the 3.5 minutes is up, you might see a few of the shrimps come to the top, really indicating that they're cooked. They don't all come up, but as soon as that 3.5-minute timer goes on, put the ice into the poaching liquid. Give it a stir around because you want to make sure the water at the bottom is going to get cold as well, and then really test it with your finger. Make sure it's cool at this point. You don't want it cold, but you certainly don't want it hot because you can get a problem with bacteria growing in there. Set that aside for 10 minutes, and while you're doing that, we're going to prepare our Thai cocktail sauce. Really, really quite easy to make a cocktail sauce. It's better than anything you can buy in the store. A bit of ketchup. I've got a bit of Thai chili sauce here. If you want to make the more traditional sauce, you can put horseradish in instead of that Thai chili sauce. A little bit of Worcester. I'm never going to be able to pronounce that sauce name correctly. But a little bit of Tabasco, maybe a little bit more, just because I like the Tabasco sauce a bit. All of that done really to your preference, and then a little bit of the lemon zest. Use a microplane grater. We'll grate the zest in there. Tons of flavor in the zest of a lemon, and then a little bit of a squeeze of lemon juice to finish that all off. Make sure you scrape out the microplane grater because it can get caught there. But I'm going to cut off the piece of the lemon and just squeeze that into the bowl. All you have to do now is combine that, a little bit of a quick stir, and you have a completely finished cocktail sauce. That's really as easy as it is. So you can see me stirring it there. Not much else to say aside from that. Obviously, whenever you're done with these sauces, check for seasoning. I gave it a bit of a taste and thought I wanted a little bit more cracked pepper in there. The salt was fine though, so I didn't need to add that, but always check for seasoning. 10 minutes later, you've got your your shrimps that have been poached here. They don't need really any more time in there. They're certainly going to be cooked after that 3.5 minutes, and then they've got an extra little bit of time to absorb that brine mixture of lemon, of onion, of salt, and sugar that we added. They're basically ready to go now. We're going to dry them off, basically get any of that excess brine off of there. And because my shrimps weren't deveined, we're going to deshell and devein them. So I'll show you how to do that quickly. The shells should come off relatively easily. If they're sticking, basically you just want them to be a little bit colder. So throw them in the fridge for 10 or 15 minutes. But I'm going to do mine right away because I'm hungry. So just peel the shell off. It should crack basically on the inside there and then move all the way around. I didn't get it all off in one piece, but it should come off pretty easily there. If you didn't buy deveined shrimp, you have to do this piece. It is optional, but if you know what's inside the vein, it's basically the digestive tract. You don't want to share this with anyone, plus it doesn't look very nice. So just cut the shrimp down the center, like I did there, and then scrape out the vein, the digestive tract, with your knife. You can also do this under running water. I'm scraping off probably a bit too much of the shrimp meat there. So if you're worried about that, you can just run it under cold water and use your finger to get the vein out of there. But that's really as easy as it is. We're gonna plate this up. Our cocktail sauce, our sweet Thai chili cocktail sauce is gonna go there. We're gonna place our shrimps all the way around. I think I did 10 here, so it should fill up the plate quite nicely. A little bit of lemon juice is really great to garnish this, but it shouldn't need much more than that. The lemon juice, a nice bit of brightness to the shrimp, and it goes great. Lemon and shrimp is classic, and that's as easy as it is. This is a great appetizer. This is a great thing to serve as a starter, bring to a party, anything like that. Shrimp cocktail with sweet Thai chili sauce.